So the last 45 minutes, it is a little bit chilly as well, and you can see it is pouring right now.
Yeah, it's been an amazing day so far until now, because it was raining before the first game. But then, like you said, as soon as that game ended and the U.S. and República Dominicana started warming up towards the start of this game, it started pouring. We'll see how this affects or not the play of soccer that we're going to be seeing eventually in the few minutes.
Well, both of these countries in Group A, we just saw Argentina and Mexico play just a couple of hours ago, and it ended in a scoreless draw. So one of these teams, if there's a victory, has a chance to move to the top of the standings.
This is a great opportunity for the U.S. to start with those 3 first points in this Group A. We'll see what happens with República Dominicana. The team from this group that made it out the prelims, it was an amazing win against Guyana with an only goal that at the end of the day gave them the opportunity to still play 3 more games, possibly anything more if they can keep moving inside the group.
Yeah, the Dominican Republic, as you said, played in that prelims because they won League B earlier in the road to the Gold Cup. And so it just took that 1 goal from Catherine Gonzalez, who I'm sure we will see today. Overall, though, I would say Dominican Republic really dominated that game. 1-0 was the final score, but they ended up outshooting that Guyana team 21-8, possessed 57% of the time.
The first half was completely for República Dominicana. The second one was very similar, but at the end, it was the opportunity where they got that goal and gave them the opportunity to be here. And like you mentioned, it's important. Road to the Gold Cup came through the Nations League, and they were winners of Group B. So it's a big merit for them to be here in the stadium enjoying this first game against the U.S. in the Group A. It must be the most thrilling moment since they launched the Gold Cup and everything that was going to happen with women football around the Confederation in 2019. This is the reason why.
Well, for the United States, automatic bid after winning the Concacaf W Championship in 2022. Of course, the United States coming off of what was a very disappointing 2023 World Cup. Earliest exit in program history, went out in the round of 16, heartbreaking loss to Sweden in penalties. And so trying to right the ship, and the way that they're doing that is going with a younger group, and you're going to see that evident in this lineup for the United States. They are testing out different players. Some players only 1 or 2 caps, getting an opportunity tonight to kind of show their stuff. Of course, they made a change coaching-wise. Emma Hayes will take over. She's still with Chelsea, so she'll come in May. And right now, it's Twyla Kilgore, who is an interim for the United States.
And you know what? It's also important. This is 2024. It's an Olympic year. She Believes Cup is around the corner also. So there's no time to keep thinking in what happened last year during the World Cup. It's time to focus on the new players, the young players that are going to be the difference for this great nation that for now, as of now, sits number 2 in the world.
But we'll see both the Dominican Republic and the United States come out here. Again, a rainy, rainy night in California. These 2 teams have only played once before, and that was a qualifier for the London Olympics. So way back in the day, 14-0 was the score. The United States won that handily. Abby Wambach, Amy Rodriguez, Courtney Boyd, all on that roster for the United States. Those are the legends of the past, though, and for the U.S., I think they're trying to create some legends of the future.
For sure, and giving the opportunity to really young players and stepping aside from what happened and seeing the way, you know, also they had 2 losses in the last few days. We're going to talk further about those 2 players. Needed to call 2 players to end up completing this 23 roster. But at the end, it's to see the United States strive, as they have been doing it so far and for so long, with a new group of players.
Well, we talk about the United States and the fact that this is a new group, but I will say that anything other than a win in this tournament would be considered a failure for the United States, and that's the way that they're viewing things right now. And so it starts right here against the Dominican Republic. If you're the Dominican Republic, you have a chance to be a giant killer right now and just make a name for yourself in this tournament.
Giant killer, that's always scary, but it's true. That's what teams like this feel when they face opponents like the U.S. We all agree. We all know the pedigree that the United States has. coming from a defeat in the World Cup or not, with younger players or not, the mentality and what the U.S. has to bring always is top-notch. And República Dominicana has an opportunity to keep making history. They already did it by beating Guyana and make it into the group stage.
And they have some juice right now coming off that victory, so we'll see if that helps them today. All right, we're going to pause for national anthems from both countries.
Please rise for the national anthem of the Dominican Republic. Damas y caballeros, favor de levantarse para el himno nacional de la República Dominicana. Por favor, manténgase de pie para el himno nacional de los Estados Unidos.
There you have it, national anthems from both countries. United States, Dominican Republic coming up shortly. We'll get you lineups starting 11s for both sides. Introduce you to our referees, and then we are good to go. Here's the starting 11 for the United States.
I think this is going to be one of the first keys, having a great team building up from the veterans to the new players. Lynn Williams came from going into the World Cup, has the motivation to do her best. And of course, we're going to see how Sophia Smith, which is the player known to score those goals and make the difference there in that attacking area.
Yeah, a mixture of newbies and veterans for the United States tonight. Becky Sauerbrunn, of course, the captain today after getting called up just a couple of days ago to replace Alana Cook in this tournament. See the picture for both sides. We'll do the coin toss as well. Introduce you to our referees tonight.
Central American, Astrid Gramajo from Guatemala representing in the field. They're going to be the referees for this game.
Luciana Marte is the captain, by the way, for Dominican Republic. I'm sure we'll talk about her shortly as we take a look at the VAR referees tonight. Of course, we do have VAR capabilities. We didn't see it used in Game 1, Argentina versus Mexico, but it might come into play today.
And then, like you mentioned before, Henry Para, having his team already played against Guyana with, I think it's clear they're going to be in a really defensive situation against the U.S. Every team that has to face the U.S. knows that at the end of the day, the best way for you to thrive through the game is try to be as much defensive as possible. And then finding in players like Mia Asenjo and Vanessa Cara the possibility of either of them to trying to create something offensively and see if they can get closer to Nayer's goalkeeper.
See Midge Purce leading the way for the United States white kits tonight. Dominican Republic in blue. Again, we are here in Carson, California. This is the first group stage match for both of these countries, and for the United States, an introduction to the Gold Cup. And we are underway. Dominican Republic will start with possession. I see Alyssa Nayer calling everybody off. On that back line, Emily Sonnet, Jenna Neiswanger. See Sonnet out wide as a right back for the United States. A bit of a different look for her. Jenna Neiswanger in her traditional left back spot. That's where she's been with Gotham. Could really call this roster the Gotham States of America. There's so many Gotham players in the NWSL that are on this United States roster because they had such a big offseason in the NWSL, signed the likes of Emily Sonnet, Rose Lavelle.
And as it should, you know, when you have a team that is the winner from your league, those are the players that should be in that roster for your national team. So it only makes sense. As much as they can shine and do their best, they're going to be getting those calls.
Well, Sonnet's playing a little higher than expected. Here's Albert, goes to work. Corbin Albert, just 20 years old. This is her second cap with the U.S. women's national team. And she quickly gets a set piece opportunity for the United States.
Really early on to get the first corner kick.
See Twyla Kilgore, interim head coach for the United States. Jenna Neiswanger will take this. Good opportunity for the U.S. to take the lead early. This one towards the back post, header, and it's in! The U.S. takes the lead, Lynn Williams.
Any opportunity from a set piece coming from the U.S. can give us goals like this. Lynn Williams really ready to find the ball with the header. The goalkeeper, Paloma Pena, couldn't even move on the far post. Well taken by Lynn Williams, and this is only the beginning. It can be the jitters of the start for República Dominicana, but well done for the U.S. and the first goal of the Gold Cup and the first goal for the U.S. in 2024.
For Williams, that's goal number 18 with the U.S. women's national team. She had 8 goals with Gotham en route to that championship last year. And again, scores in the second minute for the United States. Of course, they are going to review this, I think, to see if she's offside.
Yeah, it would make sense. Sophia Smith is interfering between.
So this will be a full VAR review.
Yes. Lynn Williams doesn't. And it's taken down from the match board. Yeah, so Sophie Smith was clearly. In the offside.
Well, for the United States, no goal in the second minute. Take it all back after a VAR review. Sauerbrunn takes her space up that left flank. Moultrie turns, has some room to operate, and gives that one away.
incredible how Sauerbrunn, it's the captain, and she only made it in the last few days after Dana Cook ended up getting that seriously ACL injured.
Well, Sauerbrunn over 200 caps with the U.S. women's national team. Of course, missed the last World Cup due to a heel injury. Obviously very devastating for her personally. For the United States, definitely missed her defensively. 38 years old. Dahlkemper waits for it. It was Sauerbrunn and Dahlkemper. That was the pairing in the 2019 World Cup that the U.S. women's national team won. And so they are back at it tonight. Started every match together on that run. Williams. And you can see Dominican Republic going to sit back right now. Probably going to be what they do for most of this match. Midge Purce getting an opportunity with the U.S. women's national team. Drives forward into the box, cuts through 2 defenders, still has it. Moultrie tries a nifty shot, and it's off the mark.
Nice, a back heel wait to try to see if she could have scored that goal against Pena. Well done by Purce.
Well, Olivia Moultrie, one of those young players that the U.S. women's national team is very excited about.
Only 18 years old. She plays in Portland Thorns.
And she signed with Portland when she was 15, so actually has a lot of professional experience at such a young age. We'll see this again. So this is the goal that was called back.
Yeah, I think Sophia is clearly in that offside position in front of Pena, and then that's why the goal got not added.
Nice swinger. Heavy off of Williams. Really, the United States in a bit of a transition period. Talk about, you know, changing of the guard. Lots of youth coming in roster-wise. And they're bringing in Emma Hayes. Head coach of Chelsea was a huge hire for the U.S., but she's not available till May because she has to finish out the Women's Super League season. So she's only going to have 4 matches before the Olympics.
And Chelsea is in the quarterfinals for the Champions League. So it's a lot of excitement for her, but she has to finish that job. Then she'll come here only with 2 months ahead of the Olympics.
Well, it does feel like, though, that this roster is
going to be a continuation because Kilgore is going to stay as her assistant. So she already knows. She's doing 2 jobs.
Albert, wide, Purce on the wing. Uses Sonnet. Left for Purce behind. Off the dribble, Midge Purce, cross in, and it's tapped home. Olivia Moultrie. That's her first goal with the U.S.
Well, we were talking about Moultrie and how young she is, only 18 years old. What a great play from Purce. And then finally Moultrie getting literally in the goal with the ball to score that one. No offside in this one.
Just stretches for that one. Williams was on the back post as well. It could have been her. I think both were available. But Moultrie, the 18-year-old, gets the goal, and the U.S. is up 1-0.
And you saw Lynn's face like, come on.
This is just her 3rd game with the U.S. Dahlkemper, good to see her back with this team. Missed a lot of time with a back injury. Smith, intercepted by Dominican Republic. It's Cologne. Right back to Sonnet though. Quick passes here for the United States. Again, just the 2nd ever meeting between these 2 countries. 14-0 was the first ever meeting.
Yeah, that happened in Vancouver in Canada. It was in January 2012, and it was a qualifier for the Olympic. 14-0. Do you think the Republican Dominican players think about that, or like they have to see if they cannot make that history be repeated?
Dahlkemper, Albert moves it towards the middle, takes a shot with her left foot, and that rebound is picked up by Pena. Pena is only 18 years old, in net for Dominican Republic. Actually plays her college football at the University of Florida. Had 2 saves versus Guyana, and what was a shutout victory for Dominican Republic in the prelims.
And 2 saves from a game that Dominicana dominated throughout the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, there really wasn't a question of whether they were going to win that game, especially once they scored. Very much in control. Just caught a glimpse of Henry Parra, head coach for Dominican Republic. Down early, Smith fights for it. Albert does as well, and Sam Coffey turns. Really feels like Sam Coffey is the future of this U.S. team in that midfield. Smith goes to work, runs out of room, and a very physical play. Didn't hear a whistle in all of that, so it should just be a goal kick. Well, now we're going to get one.
Yes.
So it will be a corner. Niswanger again. Well, Dominican Republic going to have to stay organized here. We've already seen some lapses on set pieces. Luckily for them, Williams' goal was called back. Niswanger, back post. Header disrupted. It was Sonnet who was there. And we got bodies flying. Purce commits the foul.
Well done by Reed, deflecting that ball with that header. Maybe they cannot be there in an attacking situation, but in a defensive one, this game can give you a lot of improvement and lessons to be learned towards the future.
And again, still a lot of games to be played in the group stage for Dominican Republic. They'll play Mexico on Friday, Argentina on Monday. Coffey, crowded in the middle with her and Albert. Cologne plays it long. Aseno was really good in that game for Dominican Republic against Guyana. Ended up with 9 shots. Lifted from Coffey, Williams sprints to it on that left wing. Marte on her back, and she runs out of space.
Good job putting pressure from Dominicana, not feeling in a situation of the underdog, but driving through the moment.
In some way, that can make you looser, I would think. The pressure is not on Dominican Republic, it's on the United States.
For sure.
Smith, back to the net, looks to square, dumps it behind a Sonnet. Williams trying to help Niswanger out. She nudges it away. Sonnet. Quick pass to Purce. And a foul against Purce. Well, Peralta's been banged up. It feels like every time someone's getting fouled for Dominican Republic, it's her.
She's near the area where something's happening.
Well, she's actually been first to the balls, and I think the U.S. are fouling her because of it. They're late. Peralta, 26. She is the set piece specialist for Dominican Republic.
She's one of the players that doesn't play in República Dominicana. She plays in Costa Rica and Municipal Pérez Celedón.
Smith looks to breeze past the defender, gets past one, leaves it for Purce, and it's broken up. Sonnet chases a reset for the United States. Nice swinger. Just 23. Rookie of the year in the NWSL. Getting her flowers with the U.S.
And she's less.
Smith fires, it's light. Pena has it.
I was telling you about Sonnet that she's less than 20 games to be in that 100 mark, which is also really important. By the way, Nair, the goalkeeper, with this game being played 2 away from that 100 cap, so it could be, for sure, we think so, in the last game, or maybe another goalkeeper can get another opportunity. But it can happen in this Gold Cup.
Does feel like the U.S. may rotate in that position. They brought Casey Murphy, brought Jane Campbell. Might give them looks in a tournament like this. I would have thought this would be the game, though. But we'll see if Murphy or Campbell gets to start in one of the other group stage matches.
Campbell is one of the best goalkeepers in the NWSL, for sure.
Yeah, both her and Murphy have been really steady in that league. Well, it is not the best weather, as we said before, so those with the rain ponchos are very smart.
The love of football.
Truly. Because again, it's chilly as well. Well, the United States has definitely dominated possession time so far. Over 15 minutes in this match, 1-0 is the score.
And you can clearly see that back line from Dominicana, 5 players. It's been all the U.S., we know that, but every minute that doesn't score, that it's not a goal for the U.S., it's a win for Dominicana.
Purce. Albert makes a move, left-footed strike, and she curls that one high.
Great curl, but a little bit high. And the idea of Purce going through that flank, it's going to be what we're going to keep seeing throughout the whole game for sure.
And Albert plays for PSG, one of just a few players on this roster for the United States that don't play in the NWSL. Williams in the box, Moultrie. Again, just short passes here for the U.S. Sonnet lets one fly. Williams taps it, and it's wide. Tough angle.
You were mentioning that, and it's Lindsay Horan that plays for Lyon, and the other player, it's exactly that one from the PSG, from PSG.
Yeah, no Horan, no Girma, Naomi Girma, and no Rose Lavelle in the starting 11 tonight for the United States. Williams, 1v1 on that left wing. And a corner on the way for the U.S. Moultrie, this time around, has a goal on an in-swinger. That one headed out. Dahlkemper was there. Did it go off a Dominican Republic defender is a question. Also have a player down in Cuevas. Looked like maybe some head-to-head contact on that. You can see Dahlkemper rises for it. Yep, they knock heads. Cuevas was not expecting that either. Appears to be all right. And we'll do a corner from the other side for the U.S.
After they're being checked properly, right? Yeah. The procedure when you get a head-on-head collision.
Then Cuevas, just a bit of a concussion test here. Again, absolutely crucial that everybody watches out for that. Head injuries in football.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, right?
Do want to mention some good news for the U.S. in terms of injuries. It's that Mallory Swanson is with the team training during this Gold Cup run. Of course, they're hoping, fingers crossed, that she'll be healthy to go to the Olympics this summer. Terrible, terrible injury last year.
Missing the World Cup.
Patellar tendon, and has been working her way back from that. Swanson is one of the best players in the world when she is healthy. So that is some good news for the U.S. But some bad news on the other end is that Mia Fischel tore her ACL yesterday. Fischel, of course, was initial part of this roster. She's been playing in some of the friendlies for the U.S. A very young player that is with Chelsea for her club, and just heartbreaking that she will miss the Olympics.
And that ended up opening the door for Alex Morgan, that is sitting in the bench right now. And you know, when Mallory Swanson ended up being injured, Lynn Williams was the one who knew that she was going to get that spot in the World Cup roster, and she did.
Nice swanger on the corner. Skims off a couple heads. Nothing much there for the U.S. And it's cleared for Dominican Republic. Colon got that. A lot of these players on the Dominican roster grew up in the United States. Colon being one from Cooper City, Florida.
Yeah, mainly all of the players that are abroad from República Dominicana are playing in the U.S. Not in the NWSL, but still.
A lot of college athletes on this roster for Dominican Republic. Very young team. Moultrie keeps it in. No, she doesn't. Kilgore looks on.
And the rain is gone for a while now, so.
Again, one goal in this game. It's Olivia Moultrie in the 8th minute. That's the difference so far. Coffee, Sonnet. Draws the defense in. Tower run. Sonnet. Take it away cleanly. Sonnet will get it back. Aseno with a moment there for Dominican Republic. Perhaps looks like she was going to be able to break out.
That sparkle of trying to do something, but it's been like possession above the 70s for the U.S. and not one chance for Dominican Republic.
Purce all the way into the box. Tries to cut it back and it's denied. I will say a moment like that, a turnover like that for the U.S. that we just saw, another team might make you pay for that.
Yes, you can make mistakes like that.
Purce moves to her right, off the drive cross. No.
Maybe we knew this was going to be the script for this game, but it's surprising how good defensively they have been reacting. I mean, Dominicana trying to put an end to those great creative and attacking plays.
Smith goes to work, shoots. Again, the defense says no for Dominican Republic. Little combo there, Moultrie. Off the swing, Sonnet. A lot of really short passes for the United States.
No, they're trying to gain as much space as they can, because getting into that back line, it takes time for them to being able to get through. You have all the players in the back.
Over the head of Purce. Well, they're having, this is what happens, I think, for the United States when they play certain teams. Are going to sit back, they're going to sit in a low block. It can be tough to dissect that.
Park the bus.
And we haven't really seen them do it. Williams, dish, coffee. Six shots for the United States, none for Dominican Republic. Possession 70-30 in the U.S.'s favor. Colon uses Pena, her keeper.
And all the 9 players from República Dominicana in their own area, not even getting out of the box. A lot of them.
Sonnet looking for Williams, makes a run and runs out of space.
A for effort on Williams, not letting any ball get away. That's the good things that you need to put into play in every game. That's what US does.
Well, just stretching out this defense would probably benefit the United States right now. Smith. Nice swanger. Purce in the box, back to the net. Albert. Again, just quick little passes for the U.S. Moultrie wide. Purce again, nice swanger. Taps it to Moultrie. Gives it to nice swanger. Maybe too many passes.
That possession play where you touch and touch, pass, and then try to get closer and see if you can get in that final third.
Well, off of Reed, and they just go with a short corner, the United States. Purce, 1v1 on the attack. Takes a shot, back post, Williams lifts, and it's too high.
But still, her head was there, and that header was good. Taking the corner in short, finding its way with Purce, lifting that ball, and then Lynn Williams with just the right amount to be able to hit the ball with the header, but going wide.
Moultrie. Coffee, edge of the box. Sonnet, Purce, waits for it. On that right wing. Again, her and Colon wins out. I mean, they've done a pretty good job against Purce.
Aside from the goal, the defensive line of Dominicana has been really in line and trying to keep as much as the attacking far away.
Albert. Corbin Albert. Moultrie. Pass Peralta, blocked again. How many blocks have we seen? And again, it's because everybody is in that box for the Dominican Republic, which probably means that if they can stretch them in the wide spaces, they can whip something in and get a goal, the United States. But they've been stepping to pretty quickly for someone like Purce, who's probably trying to do that. And here she gets around Cologne. There's a cross and it's in! Williams scores right on cue.
Well, after Williams was denied that first goal, she was wanting that goal. And it's the same line. Purce bringing that assist, and then this time not with the head, but Williams getting to score it. Well done by Purce. Two legs of the the two defenders in there, and still the ball got to Williams and ended up not being deflected.
Just breezes past Cologne. This is what she's been trying to do. This is what the U.S. has been trying to do on that right wing with her.
And what you were mentioning, like seconds before the goal came in.
And it pays off there. Williams waiting patiently, finishes the job. And again, her and Moultrie have scored.
And it's only 30 minutes, and on the 8th shot throughout the game for the U.S. against República Dominicana.
Well, right as it feels like Dominican Republic has a chance to build up, it gets called back. We're a half an hour in, 2-0 is the score.
And Purce has been clear, the most important player so far with the play for the first goal and now the assist for the second.
Nice Swanger. For Dominican Republic. Up the left flank, looking for Peralta. Purce just freezes. Albert. Moultrie. Nice Swanger. Back and forth they go. Smith. Nice Swanger again. Pushes wide to Williams. 1v1. Cross into Moultrie in the 6. Shot denied. Another chance for Niswanger. Another block. Albert just over the crossbar.
What a great shot from Albert. And Lynn Williams getting that ball towards the finish line, but still fighting every second. She's happy with what she's seeing. She was nodding there. You got one chance, then create another one, and this shot that goes high.
There's a block and Pena has it. Williams almost with a deflection goal. Gotta be cautious, Cuevas.
Gotta be careful.
Got someone like Williams ready to pounce.
It hurt though. It was worth it, I guess.
US back with possession. Williams on the attack. Finds Moultrie, who fires, and it's high. Well, we haven't seen many build-ups, transitions for the U.S. because Dominican Republic is sitting back. That's semi-one, and it looked nice.
Yeah, they start the attacking in either flank, and then they stay in that one. No transitioning from one side to the other, not having the need to do so.
Well, we definitely jinxed it. It is raining again.
I know, I want to say that, but let's not say it again. It starts raining.
To go in the first half. United States, Dominican Republic. Smith turns right into the defense. Here's Peralta. Colon. Left side splits the D there. Aceno tries to go. Coffee denies. Moultrie chips it over the top, looking for Smith, who gets pushed out.
Gotta say, I like the attitude from República Dominicana, not being desperate, not making, big falls, just holding up, head high, and still seeing if they can find one split of a sparkle of second that they can create anything.
Peralta, Albert pestering. And Purce was tripped. We're gonna get a whistle. Well, you could see Purce talk to the assistant referee and say, "Did you see that?" Then we get the call.
Yeah, it was jinxing the fall too.
Para organizing his defense. Nice swanger.
Yeah, the Colombian coach for República Dominicana since 2023.
Off Moultrie. Around. U.S. on the restart. Moultrie just takes it herself. Swanger takes her space. Moultrie turns, shoots, and it's too high again.
What a high pressure from the U.S. and well done by Moultrie creating this opportunity. A bit high though, but against República Dominicana, when you're already winning 2-0, I understand. But then when you face another rival, you can miss opportunities like this one. She seems content.
Oh, I think the U.S. would like to put up more goals. We've talked about goal differential mattering down the line.
Yeah, it would end up mattering a lot, not in your own group, but when you get out of the group, either as first, second, or the best two, third place, those 8 teams will be put in a table, and you're gonna take advantage of that. Goals and...
Aseno on the move. Sauerbrunn, Neiswanger both there to defend. And across in the box. Kicked out by Dahlkemper. Very lightly, though. No shot for Dominican Republic. We have a player down, Peralta. Looks like Peralta is still down. And as a result, we're going to see play stopped. Alyssa Nair checking on her.
And we're going to see again what happened here.
Yeah, definitely got hit by Midge Purce. Perhaps blindsided. Peralta maybe got the wind knocked out of her as well.
She's doing the elbow, and it was more of the shoulder, but it was in a place where you can, like, it can feel weird to breathe for a little while for sure.
Kilgore talking to her side. Got about 5 minutes left in this first half. For the U.S., they're trying to build some chemistry with this group as well. It does feel like most of this group is the group of the future. Feels like this roster is what the United States wants to take to the Olympics, so they need to start building that, because a lot of these players have not played on an international stage like this, and they have not played together.
Even though from the 23 players, we have a few of them, which is 11, well, 12, no, 11 with Alex Morgan that were in the World Cup. So they do come with that experience, but then the other 12, they need to start adjusting and finding a spot in the roster.
Albert, nice touch. Smith. Purce. Tries to split the D, unsuccessful. Sauerbrunn's there. Albert. Peralta is good to go, by the way. So you're racing around the pitch right now. Left flank. Williams, Neiswanger. Lifted. Smith going for the header. And nothing there. Well, the United States, Smith being one of them, is 8 players under the age of 25. Pena.
It's a tally of over 16 shots, 4 goals.
Yeah, none for Dominican Republic.
No. The closer it was Mia getting a few ago with Cara, but not enough to do anything.
16 shots, but, you know, besides the 2 goals, Pena hasn't been tested too much.
No, not like making that big save.
No.
You know? The picture perfect big save.
Williams. Again, a lot of these services, or intended services, bouncing off the bodies of Dominican Republic defenders. Smith. Nudged away. Here's Albert. Shoots, and it's off the crossbar. What a chance for Corbin Albert.
Unbelievable. What a great pass between the 2 defenders.
Moultrie fires, and this one's off the mark. But man, Albert this close to having her first goal with the U.S.
And it would have been an amazing goal. It's a perfect pass, like I said, between the 2 defenders, but then the crossbar denied it for Albert, and like you mentioned, it would have been her first goal. Still in the rebound, another possibility for the U.S. and now opportunity from a set piece from the corner.
That would have been a banger of a goal for Corbin Albert. See if she can get another chance. Still plenty of time. Nice swinger on a corner. This one lands in the middle of the 6. Nobody gets a shot off. And a big boot all the way down to Becky Sauerbrunn. Williams off of Moultrie. Peralta again just sends it all the way back. With Sonnet for the U.S. This United States team to 9 World Cups, 8 Olympics when you count the one coming up as we get to 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Olympic that from Concacaf, it's only U.S. and Canada.
Albert trying to slip that one through to Smith. As of late, things have not been going particularly well on a big stage for the U.S. Mentioned losing in the World Cup in the round of 16, lost to Canada in the Olympics as well in the last iteration. They just saw that Albert chance though. What an opportunity. Smith is open on the left wing. Cross. That one off a defender for Dominican Republic, and another opportunity for Sonnet. Looking for another service. It's on it. Edge of the box.
Taking their time for the build-up.
It's congested. Nice swinger. Not enough height to that one. Trying to launch it towards the back post. Here she is again. Off her left foot. That one's launched, and it's into the stands.
Another one going a bit high above the goal. I think games like this give you the opportunity to feel what it will if a higher ranked team would park the bus, literally. Because in this one, it's not that they meant to park the bus, but due to the high pressure, that's the only resource that República Dominicana has. Defend. But still, you know, it's a great opportunity for them to know how to unravel a game that is like that, which is not easy. We've seen that so many times. You have to move the ball from side to side until you can get a little way where you can pass through with that ball.
Purce. Heavy.
Even having the opportunity to move from side to side, Purce just swap side.
Now the versatility within the wingers is going to be important, I think, for the United States. Now we haven't seen certain players in, and I expect we will see someone like Trinity Rodman enter this game. Jaden Shaw also has that versatility for the U.S. Yeah, Williams on the right, Purce on the left now. This final minute or so of stoppage time in the first half, 2-0. The score, United States up. Coffee, 8 assists in the NWSL last year. Williams, underlapping run from Moultrie, and she doesn't get around.
For a second, I was going to tell you, I've seen this before. seemed like it was the same play as before. We'll see if that 5 subs, Kilgore ends up using it and maybe giving the opportunity to another of the key players to start getting cohesive between each other throughout the game.
Yeah, this is the time to kind of try different combos, see who has chemistry, because they are shaking up, especially that top line.
But also it's the time to build up this starting 11 and see if you can continue with this one throughout the tournament.
Well, there's a whistle to end the first half. 2-0 is the score. Olivia Moultrie gets her first goal with the U.S. women's national team. And we see Lynn Williams get another goal as well to tack on 2. So it makes it 2-0 United States up on Dominican Republic after 45 minutes of play. What have you seen so far, Carmen?
It's undeniable that it's been all for the U.S., but still, I think we can agree to give a merit for República Dominicana. Not every team on the field feeling as the underdog, being the underdog, can react the way they have, like not losing their minds, not committing big mistakes, trying to defend as much as possible, but with class and being elegant throughout, you know, putting the little bit of pressure that they can on the U.S., even though that it's been like a whole U.S. on the field for sure.
Well, Dominican Republic has weathered the storm literally. Of course, the weather has not been great, but also when we take a look at the stats, everything has been in favor of the United States. Lots of fans here tonight braving the elements. Got some treats.
Good.
Rain ponchos and everything here in Carson, California. It has been a dreary day, but it looks like it's clearing up. It's really been raining on and off all night. Well, we'll take a look at the stats for this USA-Dominican Republic game. Just in the first 45 minutes, right away, Lynn Williams had a goal in the second minute that was called back. But the U.S. just kept putting on the pressure. Moultrie scores, so does Williams. And here are the stats for you.
Yeah, it was called back because of Sophie Smith being offside. And the stats, 19-0, mark that number. On target, there were 8 shots. Fouls, even though the game was the way it was played, it's only 6, 4, and 2, you know, it was not bad. And that offside that we mentioned, that called out for that goal not getting into the scoreboard.
Well, we'll see if Dominican Republic makes any adjustments. I would imagine they're going to sit back for as long as they can, and then eventually, if this score remains the same, they're very much in this game, down 2-0. So then they'll decide to potentially open things up and try to score.
Yeah, and give the opportunity to other players too to end up
up 2-0. And it looks like we have a change for the U.S. Emily Sonnet out, Emily Fox in for the United States. Those are our only changes so far after 45 minutes. But we've seen a lopsided, well, it's only 2-0, but the stats are very much in the United States' favor, 18-0 in terms of shots. And Midge Purce has had a really good game for the United States. Took her a while to settle in, but she's been going 1v1 on the right side. They switched her to the left side as well, versatile on the wing, and she has been able to create some crosses that have resulted in good opportunities, including a goal for the U.S.
You said the key word, versatile, and that's exactly what we were watching throughout the whole game. The opportunity to be tested when a rival does only a defensive strategy, and at the end still finding the way to pass that ball the best possible way and scored a goal. You mentioned this change. It's Emily Sonnet leaving the game, coming in Emily Fox, and then we have another sub, which is number 17, Jasmine Jackson for República Dominicana, stepping in. And number 2, Alexa Pacheco. And we'll see right now who are the players leaving the field for República Dominicana.
Well, those are your changes for the Dominican Republic and the United States. Looks like they're going to make Fox come back and officially do this.
So there you go, 14 out. Emily Sonnet out already, and Emily Fox coming in.
No, Fox used to play in the NWSL, but she left Racing Louisville this year. Now she plays for Arsenal in the WSL. She's on that World Cup roster in 2023 for the U.S., just 25 years old. Oh, Pacheco coming in, Jackson as well. Both second half subs for the Dominican Republic against Guyana as well. All right, we're underway here in the second half. Could be a costly turnover for the U.S. Chipped over the top. Now Dominican Republic unable to make something happen there, but that's the second time that the U.S. has given the ball away in a dangerous spot that another team might make them pay. Moultrie with a potentially costly turnover in the future. Swanger. Here's Williams. Lifts it. Smith trying to corral.
Coming out of the game, Emily Sonnet, number 14, entering game number 23, Emily Fox.
Nice swanger. Moultrie. Coffee, top of the box for Smith. Floats it up, headed out. Moultrie again. Create some space. Everybody was right there in the center. Here's Purce, right wing. Takes it away. Jackson just entered. Head-to-head with Sauerbrunn. And it ends up right back with Niswanger. This is the problem with sitting back, is that if you want to transition, there's nobody forward. So Jackson had to try to do that all herself.
Yeah, and Jackson, it's a position for position. You would have guessed maybe more defensive, but no. The coach Parra still wants to see if he can do something offensively.
Williams lets it rip and it curls out.
It could be a game also to try to see if you can do this long distance shots Well taken by Lynn Williams. High for sure.
Here she is with some pressure. Fox. Usually a player that's pretty involved in the attack for the United States, even from a defensive position. Nice swanger. Smith looks to turn and go. Gives it to Moultrie. Stuck in the box. Wide to Purce. Looking for Williams, and it's just off. Really skies for that one.
Yeah, great effort also. Great ball. And then Lynn trying to connect as fast as she could. Ends up going high. Like I said, great ball to the space, and Lynn connecting with her head.
Really looking for her through the air today.
Ball into the space completely. In between two defense, by the way.
Lots of shadows around Sophia Smith. Something she's going to have to get used to on a world stage, I think, at this point, the caliber she's been playing at. Corner on the way for the U.S. off of Reed. Swanger hangs up towards the 6, headed out from Reed. Right back to the 23-year-old for the U.S. Albert gets tangled up, stretching for it. A couple players down for Dominican Republic.
And again, all the field players for República Dominicana in their own area.
Intended for Albert, would have been nice. Williams. Moultrie in the area. Albert deflected again. Here's Albert. Looking for Williams. Smith. A cutting Moultrie. Albert, Moultrie, wide. Back post, Williams. Nobody there to finish. Fox, can she do it? Finds Williams again to Moultrie. A little chaotic in the box there.
That was a little bit of everybody trying to hit the ball, but nobody being able to do it, you know, like in one definite shot.
Yeah, just looking for that finisher. Williams on that left side. Coffee, Smith. Moves it to her right side, takes a shot, and it's just off.
Sophia's been rooming for a little while. That end and final pass, like you mentioned. Great individual play, but going wide for sure.
Well, these are all of the deflections. Just a bunch of tiny touches and no shot. Dispossessed, Dominican Republic. US gets it back. Peralta looks to break free, unsuccessful. Fox, Smith, turns, dumps it off to Albert at the top of the box as well. Here's Williams, pass the defender, cross, almost for Smith. She was on the back end of that.
But nobody was there to finally give that last push.
Yeah, missed time just a tad for the US.
When you have the high pressure but not the goals, it can be kind of frustrating a little bit because you keep trying and trying. And it's a game and you want to score as much as goals as possible.
Purce glides. I believe that was off her. Was. Midge Purce, kind of an interesting spot right now for the US. Getting her chance right now. She's 28, and she's had some caps in the past with the United States, but never really stuck. So we'll see if she's able to make that Olympic roster. I think it'd be a great move for her in her career, and had a great season, especially at the tail end with Gotham FC. So has earned the opportunity. I think tonight she's really showing why.
Yeah, and it's because of the players that were there before. Now the openings are on it, and then driving to get that position for any roster. It's amazing. You have the She Believes Cup in April, and then you have the Olympics in July and August.
Yeah, not everybody's opportunity happens at 18 years old. Some players have to wait, and sometimes those are the best stories and the hardest workers.
It wasn't because she couldn't make it. It was just because there were like the Alex Morgans, the Megan Rapinoe over there.
Here's Purce. Smith in the area, again hounded. 3 blue kits around her. And really that last shot that we saw Smith have is the only chance she's had, the only space she's been given to get a shot off.
And Jasmine Jackson, seems like the instruction was try to stay as much close to the middle circle, so for you to see if we can get at least a ball in. Because before, Mia Senghor was doing more of a recovery and defensive job, but now Jackson is like steady over there, waiting to see if any counter can be a big surprise.
Williams. Albert. Pena dives on it. Oh, nice swinger, Albert Moultrie. Very young crew for the United States. Less than 10 caps combined. We're seeing them all get significant playing time in this match against the Dominican Republic. Build that chemistry and be surrounded again by the more mature players like Lynn Williams, Abby Dahlkemper, etc., to guide them. Of course, it just helps to be a part of training, get a feel of what it's like to train with the U.S. Women's National Team and what this stretch is going to be like, because it is a short turnaround. Most of these players are used to playing, once a week, and that is not the case in tournaments like this.
And there's one thing.
Albert looked like she was going to shoot.
Yeah. There's one thing to remember. NWSL players, which is 21 and out of 20 out of the roster, they're coming from preseason. So this is the first game in the year officially.
Yes. Albert. she has a brace created by Purce again.
She's like, thank you, I gave you that goal, literally, almost completely. If she wouldn't have been there, I don't know if it would still have gotten towards the goal. Let's see who they give the goal, but I think it's more of a Purce thing. Well, no, she deflects it completely, but well done by Purce. Half of the goal is hers. Yeah, she just puts her left foot instead of going in the net. No offside. And perfect by Purce. Thank you. You're welcome.
She's been really good today at finding those pockets of space for U.S. players cutting, and Moultrie benefits from that. And again, her first 2 goals, Olivia Moultrie, with the U.S.
18 years old. Talk about future, right? I know it's too early to think about the MVP. Of course, Moultrie has a brace, but without Purce, there would be no goals. She was involved in 3.
Here she comes again. Turns on the Jets, puts on a cross, and a set piece is coming, a corner for the U.S. Nice swanger. That one curls right to Pena, punches it out. Second ball in, headed away. Coffee just dribbles it up. Half an hour to go. U.S. up 3-0. They scored 1 goal in this second half. Believe that will be a corner for the United States. Tipped off a defender for Dominican Republic.
Yeah, just with enough for it to be the corner in short.
Lifted. Dahlkemper's there, the center back. And Moultrie just took a knock and is down right now, holding that left knee. That's concerning.
Yeah, because she's been doing everything throughout the whole game. And like we mentioned before, they're not on rhythm. They're coming from the preseason only. And assistance is being called immediately.
Oh. Just awkward landing for Moultrie. Oh, you absolutely hate to see that.
Can imagine to feel it. Was it her left foot when she was falling from trying to get the ball with her right leg?
Yeah, Moultrie.
Hopefully the image was worse than what it is.
Definitely in some pain right now. Again, 2 goals today, and I think regardless of whether she's good to go or not, I imagine Kilgore will take her out.
Yeah.
Definitely testing that left ankle.
We don't even need to see it again. Ever.
Well, Moultrie's going to be helped off.
Yeah, she's elastic. Maybe that was like literally worse what we saw than how it felt.
Well, definitely the initial sting of something.
Yeah, even when you're falling, you even have to have class to fall, because she fell with her body to like accompany what was happening, you know? Some people want to stay standing up, and that's when they ended up injuring themselves even more. Take it by somebody that falls a lot.
Well, it looks like they'll make a change. It's Trinity Rodman. The good news was we just saw Moultrie move into a jog.
Ooh.
And it looks like Alex Morgan is set to come in. Williams cuts through, beats 2 defenders, tries to poke it ahead. Peralta, can Dominican Republic transition here? Colon blazes that one too far to Nair, whose name we have said maybe just at the beginning of this match, and that's it.
Maybe twice, just to remember that this is her 98th cap.
Oh, Moultrie's gonna
in.
come back. Reed steps 2. Looking to counter here with Cara. Gives it to Dahlkemper for the United States. Fox. Niswanger's fouled. Marte commits. Looks like we're going to see a whole slew of subs enter this game. Trinity Rodman, Alex Morgan, Jaden Shaw for the United States. Midge Purce will come out. Again, a really, really good performance from Midge Purce today.
Yeah, she was involving the 3 goals, so without her, that wouldn't have happened, and she did an amazing job throughout, even changing flanks.
Rodman now 29 caps with the United States, currently on the Washington Spirit. Lots of applause for Olivia Moultrie, who finishes the day with a brace. Jaden Shaw, another youngster to be excited about, enters, and Alex Morgan
with a 7. She's -7.
I think a lot of people have heard of Alex Morgan, and she will enter the game for Sophia Smith. Well, Morgan, again, initially was not on this roster, and that was a point of discussion leading up to this W Gold Cup, her not being on it. Well, Mia Fischel tears her ACL in practice yesterday. Absolutely heartbreaking for Fischel, and Alex Morgan gets the call, makes the trip over here, and she's playing today. Of course, a seasoned vet. I think we've said a lot about Morgan over the course of her career. Over 200 caps, over 100 goals, over 120 goals with the U.S. 52 assists, 2 World Cup wins, all of that. But there is a discussion of whether or not she is a part of the future plans with the U.S. women's national team.
Yes, and at least she has to be ready, you know. She was called when she was needed, and she was ready to do her job.
All right, so we'll see Colon come off. I mean, these defenders, really this entire team for Dominican Republic has put in a lot of solid work. Gill will come in and replace Colon. And we're going to see Gonzalez, Catherine Gonzalez. Thought we might see her earlier. Cara comes out. Gonzalez had the lone goal, the game winner against Guyana. first iteration of the Gold Cup for Concacaf, and kind of cool that a player like Morgan gets to actually be a part of it. All the accolades she has, gets to be a part of history as well.
She was part of the roster of 29, and she was part of a lot of the campaigns around the Gold Cup. So it was a bit of a bummer when she was out, but you know, things happen.
What a move by Trinity Rodman. Albert, top of the box. Physical play. Alex Morgan goes down. Nice swanger. Taps it to Morgan. Corner.
Morgan is already in and enforcing a corner. Seafree from a set piece. 20 minutes away from the end of the game. We can get a fourth.
Well, that's a good run by Morgan. Albert, good vision there. From Shaw, in swinger. Bobbled around. Looks like we had a foul before that. Shots up to 25 for the United States. Very close call. Williams again lurking, looking to get the takeaway and score. Shaw leaves it for Rodman. Box out.
You know what's the thing that I don't feel as positive of those 25 shots? That only 3 were saved by Pena, and not big saves. So that means not everything went on target.
And that was a little bit of the issue in the World Cup for the U.S.
It was exactly.
Well, we've got 20 minutes left in this match. Well, this is a far cry from that 14-0 game back in 2012 for the Dominican Republic. Definitely making steps in the right direction as a country.
You couldn't say it better. It's 12 years apart, and in that case, it was 14 goals. It was a crazy game, and now you can see how the path for both teams have changed a lot, you know, being that Dominicana is where it is as of now.
Taken from Shaw. Dahlkemper sprints. Jackson on her back. And she uses Alyssa Nair. Rodman. Starts, stops, goes. Breezes pass. A little touch from Alex Morgan. Gets deflected. Fox. Shaw again. Jaden Shaw teammates with Alex Morgan at San Diego with the Wave. Entering her 3rd year, which considering she's only 19 years old is pretty impressive.
Yeah, they know each other pretty well for the last years.
These are the Moultrie finishes. And again, it's Purce just getting around and creating all that space. Williams, and here's Purce again. 3 assists.
Yeah, she did an amazing job in that first half. Like, it was everything. The attitude, the way she was putting those balls, finding a way to keep creating. You know, it seemed like, for me, she was the MVP. As of now, we'll see.
Absolutely. Really relentless person. She shows off. I mean, she has a lot of speed, obviously, but she has a lot of power with that speed. And she puts it in the right places too. It's one thing to get past your defender, but it's what you do with it next. And you can see Purce is constantly making the right decisions. Albert gets around Marte. Rodman puts her defender on skates. That's the second time Rodman has made an incredible move since she's been in this game. That herky-jerky is getting defenders. Williams serves it up way over the head of Rodman. Curls it up, back post. Williams is there. Takes a shot. Pena makes a save.
Again, Lynn, in close range, finding the perfect position to try to shoot against Pena. And in the second attempt, she keeps the ball. You see the research she had, which was just put to your chest.
Oh, we see Rose Lavelle on the bench. Not sure if she's going to come in. Well, there she is.
Yeah, I thought she was coaching. I remember a few years back when she was the younger of the team.
Yeah, now she's considered a veteran on this roster, Rose Lavelle. And I think she needs reps like these. A player that was injured for a lot of last season, including trying to kind of play through an injury during the World Cup. Nice combo there. Shaw with an overlapping run. And bounces it off a defender in Reed, who disagrees.
But if you see the numbers, she's only 28.
Yeah.
In May, she's going to be turning 29, and she's already played almost 92 games. So she's in the verge of a century of games with the U.S.
This one hangs up towards the 6, and Williams, the target, off on the header.
Another one high for Williams.
We'll do it from the other side now. Another corner kick for the U.S. Shaw, some pace to that, punched out by Pena. All right, here's that sub. Rose Lavelle enters the game. Corbin Albert comes out.
Albert that had that clear chance to score her first goal with the U.S. ended up being denied by the crossbar. And now subbing for Rose Lavelle.
Again, Lavelle dealing with a knee injury last year. And this season she's going to be playing in New York with Gotham FC after 3 seasons with the Seattle Reign. Bit of a surprise move. That's what free agency has created within the NWSL. But as you mentioned, 90 caps with the United States, 24 goals, 21 assists. But Lavelle's just a workhorse in that midfield, and they are a much different team when she is on the pitch in a good way.
She can only add. And Gotham's going to be really privileged to have her. Being the team of the moment, being the champions, at the end, you have the best players.
It's almost unfair when you look at their roster.
Because it's surreal,
It's kind of sickening, yeah. If they don't win,
Back-to-back?
Yeah, they have to be the favorites, no question. Reed clears. Again, still no shots in this game for Dominican Republic, who really have not been in that end much. Moultrie has a brace. Williams has a goal. And that's where we stand at the moment. Lavelle, service off her left foot. Morgan heads it, and it's saved. Bit of a warning there for Morgan.
She's having the best time of her life right now.
Yeah, you could see the
push.
Yeah.
Kind of subtle though.
Williams lifts for Rodman. Breaking ankles again is Trinity Rodman. Puts on a cross to Morgan. Off of Lavelle, actually. Nice swinger. Thought about one-timing it. Couldn't get a hit on it.
We're almost in 30 shots now. And now we can agree there's more safe. 5 for Pena.
There was a point-blank one that Williams just had. Pass a defender again for Williams. Pass another defender. Puts on a cross. Rodman almost there. Couldn't reach for it. Was trending towards the opposite way.
Yeah, it was Rodman, Shaw, and Morgan. But neither could make it enough to at least stretch the leg and touch that ball.
Gill picks her pocket. And it's going to be a foul against the United States. Got 10 minutes to go. U.S. very much in control of this match. Lavelle loses a defender. Rodman on that right wing. Cross looking for Morgan. Just waiting in that 6 is Alex Morgan. Coffee. I mean, usually if you're a 6 like Sam Coffey, you're doing a lot of defensive work. You're not as involved in the offense. Well, because of how deep this Dominican Republic team is playing, she has been very involved.
Yeah, she's been getting the possibility to do so. And feeling free, it's also important because you never know when you're going to need that.
Morgan looking for Shaw. Barrels through. Lavelle leaves it for Rodman. Cross. Here's a chance for Niswanger. Cuts it back. And it's stopped by Dominican Republic. A couple of bodies there for, again, another shot from Williams. That one off the heel of Jaden Shaw.
Yeah, and then hitting in Renata Mercedes. You know, it's like you mentioned, a little bit of what we were seeing. I don't think it's the same because you're facing another type of team in front of you. But still, a lot of big numbers of shots and not so many goals as you would have expected.
Well, 7 shots now for Lynn Williams. Olivia Moultrie, the only person with more, finished with 2 goals and had 9 shots. Looks like they're reviewing something for VAR.
Do you think it could have been like a card or a penalty? Let me guess.
We'll take a look at the replay.
No. Oh, bar. VAR, sorry. Good job by the referee. And oh, there you go.
Well, looking at a possible penalty. Shaw.
She's falling, and the leg just like, it's like the natural movement of her left leg.
And of course,
But
didn't get the ball.
No.
Shaw did not even have possession when that happened.
But you're falling and your legs are moving from one side to the other. It's like the natural movement. I'm no referee, but that would be my call. We'll see. Because if the VAR called her,
it's a penalty. Oh, see who takes this for the U.S.
And I jinxed it.
A lot of options.
No cards, and here comes the card. I truly don't know why. You don't. Whoa.
A card on Reed.
Why?
Because she committed the penalty.
No. It was no.
No, she's the one.
So the penalties for Reed with okay. I thought it was seeing the other player when she got the leg up.
All right, looks like they'll give the opportunity to Jenna Neiswanger.
I don't think Alex wants to throw another penalty to kick off you.
That's a good opportunity for someone like Neiswanger. This is just her third cap with the U.S. Pena gets ready. Neiswanger hits her first goal with the United States, and it's 4-0.
And it's gonna be a night to remember. It's the first win in the whole history of this W Gold Cup. And Neiswanger gets her goal for the fourth for the U.S. after a penalty committed by Reed.
Well, a lot of firsts for the United States. Saw Olivia Moultrie get her first goal as well. And Neiswanger just tucks it in the corner.
Didn't even need it as much as velocity or anything. The final sub for República Dominicana, Peralta, leaving the field, and it's Alisa Oviedo coming in, the player, the forward. Farah keeps surprising me.
Number 7, Pena. Coming into the game, number 11, USWNT.
Well, here it's Dominican Republic. They're going for it now, trying to, you know, of course, down 4-0. You're going to open things up. You're not going to win this game, so you might as well try to get on the board. And you can see that they're out of that compact shape that they had, and they're not sitting in a low block anymore. This means there's space, though, for the United States going the other way in transition. Here's Rodman on the right flank. She looks up, surveys. Shaw takes a shot. Pena dives forward.
Pena with the ball before Rose Lavelle could get any closer to that ball. Well done by Shaw.
Centers. Well, this has been a good start for the United States. Again, a pair of games left in the group stage, but with this win, as Rodman swerves through, gets undercut. Corner. Clean, they say, from Reed.
And the next game for the U.S., it's against Argentina. They're closing the group with an exciting game against Mexico.
Well, with a victory, too, the United States moves to the top of the table in Group A, which means they have control. Neiswanger is being told to stop. She wants to go.
Hey, the universal language, right? Signs.
I think they're holding for a VAR review to see if this is also a penalty because...
Over there, that one.
Yeah, that probably need a different angle to totally see, but it looked like it should be one.
That's a tijera.
That would also mean it would be a red card on Reed. A double yellow, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't get any ball.
Nope. And just... How do you call that in English again? Yeah, that's for sure a fall.
Yeah, just missed it, Reed.
And that won't be good for her because she'd be missing the next game.
Yeah. Starting center back today for Dominican Republic. I mean, this is what we think is going to be called. I mean, she just kind of whiffs on it. She doesn't get the ball.
She still opens her right leg, trying to remove it and not like hold the player.
Another penalty. And Reed will be removed. We are in stoppage time, by the way. See this again. Yeah, just going for the tackle. She was beat and just takes out Trinity Rodman.
No, she didn't give her any card.
Interesting.
Yeah, now with the new rule, you can decide if you do it. It was weird that she gave her.
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
Not weird, sorry.
But then it's not it doesn't. Well, anyway, we're going to get 7 minutes of stoppage time.
This has been such a jinx game. Everything that we said, Alex Morgan's not going to kick any penalty kick. And there she is.
Well, Alex Morgan is very, very confident on these penalties. Again, 121 goals with the U.S. We'll see if she can get 122. Of course, donning a new uniform. She's typically number 13, but she's wearing 7 because of the late change for the U.S. Morgan tucks it in the corner on the right side, and the U.S. is up 5-0.
I think this is the best news possible for the... It felt good to see her doing that again after what happened last summer, and maybe doubting what would, she be doing if she's gonna keep taking the calls from the U.S. with the whole mentality and being a bigger person. She was okay not being called in the roster, and then when an injury came, she was the first one to be ready to get into the team. This is a boost of confidence for her. Not that she needs it that much, you know what I mean, but it's important to come back this way.
Well, Morgan strikes in stoppage time. Again, a second half sub for the United States. Back-to-back penalties for the U.S. And I think that's just happening because of tired legs for Dominican Republic and just getting out of position and trying to tackle it away. But again, here they come trending towards the other end, getting in the attacking third. Dominican Republic. Lissanair has to clear. Kilgore having discussion with her assistants.
Now, this is closer to the result we all were expecting, without taking any merit on República Dominicana and how they behaved throughout the whole game.
Well, sometimes it's about patience for the United States. Just sticking to a game plan, being relentless, and good things will come. Like I said, just really started to wear this Dominican Republic team down. Past Coffee, who commits a foul. Oviedo plays her college soccer at the University of Vermont. Here's Gonzalez, again, has scored already in the Gold Cup. And if you're the United States just trying to protect a shutout too, Alyssa Nair is ice cold right now. She's seen no action.
Like, have she touched the ball?
Just a couple times.
And I think it was her defense line playing back with her.
In the Concacaf W Cup in 2022, the United States didn't allow a goal. They want to continue that trend. From Gonzalez, she rips it way high. Just mishit that. Obviously was intending to serve that up back post.
And we're getting 7 minutes because of the subs, because of the VAR checks. And Reed, she could have gotten the second yellow
It's just interesting because that is a worse offense, in my opinion,
than the first
yellow card. Yes.
Maybe she corrected herself. Maybe she shouldn't have shown the first yellow.
Bit of time wasting. I don't know on who. I think there's a discussion. Oviedo, Fox turns and goes the other way for the United States, looking to counter. Just draining clock here. United States very much in control. 5-0 here in California to kick off the Gold Cup. Again, not just in Group A, a whole slew of games coming up this week in the group stage. Everybody in each group will play each other once, and then we will determine our 8 teams to make it to the quarterfinals. Lavelle gets fouled. Well, perhaps one final play for the United States.
I think this is going to be the last one.
Swanger, short pass to Morgan, takes a shot and it's saved by Pena. Off her fingertips. That's a nifty play though from the United States.
Well, that's well said for the US and well done for Pena, because we were saying that she was lacking in that great save. She had her last one against none other than Alex Morgan.
Well, the United States gets a victory, 5-0 over the Dominican Republic. Olivia Moultrie, Jenna Niswanger both score their first goals with the United States. Moultrie finishes with a brace, but I think the story, and she's not going to show up you know, on that score line is Midge Purce with the 3 assists. Alex Morgan gets in on the action, so does Williams, but Midge Purce, sneaky MVP in this one.
I like that word, sneaky, sneaky. And she was super important during that first half. She's celebrating for sure. And also, let's not forget, Moultrie is the first goal ever in the Women's Gold Cup. So that's going to stay there in history when they review years looking back. That was her first goal. With only 18 years old, just representing that American dream and how soccer can give you so much.
Yeah, she'll always have that, and hopefully the first two of many for Olivia Moultrie. Glad to see she's okay after going down with an injury, as well as able to re-enter the game.
And Lynn Williams, she's in another level for sure, fighting for every ball. She's always been there, but after last year during the World Cup, gaining that confidence, knowing that she wants to take a bigger spot and keep fighting for that place in the roster.
Yeah, I think the wingers were really impressive for the U.S. today. Definitely something to build on. Perhaps Williams and Purce, the wingers, you know, in that front line for Gotham FC is what we see in the Olympics. Again, a lot of players did not play in this game. We didn't see Crystal Dunn, we didn't see Naomi Girma, but we are going to hear from Olivia Moultrie.
Olivia, qué tan importante era arrancar de esta manera la competición. Olivia, congratulations. How important was it to start this competition as strongly as you guys did?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. Going into it, that was something that we were kept reiterating to ourselves, like, let's go out on the front foot, let's be aggressive, let's put up as many numbers as possible, and yeah, let's like set a good standard for how we want to go about the rest of the tournament.
Fue el mensaje que se dijo al interior del grupo, que querían iniciar esa competición de manera contundente, de manera fuerte, ser el equipo que propusiera que fuera el ataque, y eso lo consiguieron. How special, qué tan importante fue este partido para ti? How special was this game for you personally? Not just one, but two debut goals, no solo uno, sino 2 goles debut para ella con la selección.
Yeah, I mean, number one, I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity